Jackson, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about my art portfolio. I've been working on it for a really long time during this gap year that I've been taking. I'm going to walk through everything as well as give some advice. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I mean, I got in, so there's that. Fun fact, I only applied to one school. Not a smart move, but it's the only school I really wanted to go to. An all or nothing type of thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was the most I had ever drawn in this amount of time, mostly due to how focused and intentional the process of building a portfolio was for me. Since my dad actually went to an art school himself and works as a graphic designer, I was actually lucky enough to get feedback and direction on my artwork, as well as have my portfolio laid out professionally.
I thought it'd be wise to see if he has any pointers and what I should do, and if I have a question I can ask him. And I know not every person has that advantage, but I tried to utilize that as much as I could. Okay, so for the cover of the portfolio, I don't think it mattered too much for my case because they didn't even include the option of like submitting a portfolio in a way where the cover would be shown. Make one that kind of looks nice and stands out. Okay, so right off the bat, I did some gesture drawings on the first 3 pages. Some of them I think are okay, some of them I'm still not that happy with. I could tell in the way that they talked about it on what you should include in your portfolio that it is an important thing. Gestures, figure drawing, all that stuff. Now when I started this art portfolio, I really was struggling with getting down figure drawing and gestures and have my arm jumping across the page to draw everything in.
One practice technique that I found incredibly beneficial and effective was timing myself drawing people or objects that were in front of me. Since drawing what's in front of you is already harder than drawing from pictures, the short time limit forces you to make better decisions while sketching the form and proportions of your subject.
Because then your mind's not overthinking what you're drawing. You're just kind of, I gotta draw all this stuff. 30 seconds, then maybe move yourself up to a minute, then maybe 2 minutes, and so on. God, the framing of this is horrible. I feel like I'm... Okay, so the animals. We made sure to go on site. So my dad and I went to the zoo and drew a bunch of animals. Now obviously with drawing people, you can tell them to just not move because you're drawing them, or you can go to a place where they're typically not gonna move that much, which is also what I did. But with animals, it's not that simple. You gotta really quickly, and this is again where 30-second sketches do come in handy. If you can really get into the practice of drawing things really quickly before you even attempt to draw something where you're forced to draw really quickly, like with animals, it can be really helpful. Okay, on page 7, we have some mirror sketches. I actually got this idea from another person applying to the school with their portfolio because I was watching like this virtual thing where they review people's portfolios, and I saw them do this and I thought like, well, that's a great way to get someone in front of me, kind of, because with a mirror, it's, you know, whatever. Anyways, I thought it was a good idea. I have this big mirror where I can just draw myself. Like I like these outer ones, but then both inner ones I'm not really a fan of. Each person here looks like a different person, and that's gonna come up later in my portfolio, so expect more of that. Alright, next up I have a mirror self-portrait. So same thing, was drawing in front of a mirror, not a camera because that's flat, but like a mirror. I think I drew the lips a little bit too pursed. I think just the outline of it wasn't right, but oh well. Okay, next up, still life drawing. I actually drew this first before I drew any of the other pieces, and I worked really hard on it.
However, looking at it now, the outer lines are only drawn to separate the subject from the white background. If I really wanted this piece to be as realistic and authentic as possible, I think I could have drawn the dark background values to conflict with the white and gray values of the fruit.
Okay, so next up is the perspective drawing of a living room. This took forever. I'm not 100% happy with the TV or other details, and my mom was a little bit concerned that this wouldn't be enough for perspective. Probably goes without saying, but I'll say it now. If you're applying to an art school, check what they actually want in the portfolio. Because even though I'm going to an animation school, they're not looking for animation because they're going to be teaching that to me. I did put some animation in here just to show some technical work, and I'll get to that later. But what they're really looking for is your artistic ability, and that's again why I took a gap year, so I can try to develop that as much as I could. shopping mall sketches. I went to the mall a few days in a row and just drew people. When I was in high school, I would do this a lot, but more out of boredom. Whereas with this, I'm like going there to do it. Now, as I've mentioned before, I drew way more than I'm showing here and way more than I actually ended up putting into my portfolio. And some of the drawings that I put in were of people that I drew in the mall who like caught me drawing them, and it was like the most awkward thing ever. Like, oh God. I mean, when it happens in school, I don't think I really care because they're just like, oh, I was just drawing, you know? But I'm at a mall, sitting alone in the cafeteria. Not fun. No, not fun at all. Whatever. It's no big deal. It's not like I care. Whatever. I was really frustrated doing hands, and that's because 1, they were difficult, 2, they're not fun to do. Drawing this. Guys, drawing this. Is that, you see what I did there? I mean, I did that I didn't mean, this is essentially what you're drawing. It's just lame. I don't know. I'm sure some people like drawing this, but like this or this.
One resource that I highly recommend for practicing gestures, expressions, animals, and more would be lineofaction.com. Using this free website with 30 seconds checked on resulted in 2 separate things. 1, an absolutely ridiculous amount of drawings being produced, and 2, an improved understanding of whatever it is I was drawing.
Anyways, next one. Okay, this is a better example. Jesus. Okay, so you can see like the crease in the hand and then the rest of it being softer. This little glass thing here, I'm still a little annoyed by this because my eyes lied to me. I swear, this is what I actually saw. Like wiggly little glass top. It's probably some like light refraction or something. I don't know. Okay, yeah, this is bad. This is bad. I don't like these ones at all. So this is a portrait. Now, if it was just a portrait, I think I'd like these better. But since I know what my dad looks like, these aren't that good. Middle one, bottom of the face is kind of just jutting out a little bit too much. You know what? I think the left one, the person to blame is my dad because he was making that face. And then the right one's my fault because I can't draw like natural hands that are interacting with the face. Bit of a fumble. Oh well. Head study. So I did a head study here. They are from photo reference and they are digital. This was kind of just an extra page of drawings I found as I was wrapping everything up, and I was like, oh, maybe I should throw this in here. It's more heads and they're better than this one at least. Some variety of digital work. Why not? So I threw it in there and yeah. Asaro head study. I added this because I realized at the end of everything that I did, I kind of like finished the whole portfolio, that I didn't have any structure. And after like going through what they wanted me to show, I decided to go back and add to the portfolio before I submitted it. And it's a good thing I did. I don't know if I would have got in if I didn't. And that is because showing the structure of the head, the structure of certain objects, which I don't know if I did that. Did I do that? No, I only did the head. Okay, well, I did some structure at least. Structure of the head. That's it. Yeah. I can't draw the same looking head over and over. So this is a self-portrait and it looks like a totally different person. It kind of doesn't even look like a person. It looks kind of like an alien. Are these goggles? Are these like... It looks bad. This entire page looks bad. Probably the worst page in the entire portfolio. Not a fan. 2 out of 10 or lower. I don't know. Moving on. Face and expression study. So this was from photo reference. Obviously, it's gonna be easier than drawing from a mirror. So just kind of like try to merge 2 things into one to give more variety rather than just having like structure. It's more like structure, mirror sketch, structure, expressions. Alright, the next one was a digital portrait, and this one I think is interesting in regards to how it shows development. Initially, I was just gonna show the third and final result of this digital portrait, but after showing my dad my process, he said, well, you should include that. They're gonna see your development and how you started with the drawing and then how that drawing progressed, or painting, I guess. I, for some reason, have the tendency to drown out all of the nice color in the face. I don't like this middle one has more like, I don't know, it lost a lot of that in the third one, so. This is where we get more into like my fun stuff, the stuff that I was doing before, figure drawing and all this other stuff. And it's where I feel more confident. And this character that you're seeing right now, Rain, is a character that I cannot, for the life of me, decide on an official design. I'm still not 100% happy with it, and it's been developing forever. It'll keep developing because I can't choose any of that. Maybe that's why I'm going to university, so I can learn how to do this properly. But yeah, I don't know. So this is a character turnaround, something they also asked for in the list of things to include, and I thought to draw Rain in his non-official character clothing. The umbrella on the top, quick tip, it's to show a nice silhouette. You know, Mickey Mouse, Homer Simpson, Sonic, they all have nice silhouettes where if you were to black out the entire character, they would show a silhouette and you could still tell who they are. And that's a really good way to make a character that's recognizable or something. I don't know. It's something I heard from somewhere. So I added the umbrella. His name's Rain, right? Rain. I'm stupid. I don't know. I mean, he's a gardener too, okay? It's not just his name, okay? Character design, storyboard, animation, Ethan, a video that's on this channel. I actually posted that video because this laid out portfolio actually can take you to my YouTube channel. I can't explain how any of that works or how to do it. I don't know, my dad did that part, but I had him link this thing to my YouTube channel and it'll show the animation that I made using this storyboard. So it shows kind of like behind the scenes, my process.
Artistic capabilities are obviously important for any art portfolio, but for this school in particular at least, showing that you're a good candidate that will succeed in the 2D animation program is another aspect that I found worth implementing.
If you have past experience working in programs or used storyboards to tell a story, I say include it in your portfolio. It shows that you are serious about your craft and that you have some experience in the field that you're going to be eventually, hopefully, working in if you graduate from that school. So again, this is kind of the same thing, showing some behind the scenes work of past videos that I've made, and it showed some physical work that I've done with the miniatures that I've built, as well as some compositing work. The final page, which was actually like the maximum of pages you can have, I tried to get as much as I can without too much. I was kind of telling my dad, like, should we put this feels like a little bit too much. And again, as I've said before, they don't care about this stuff. Like, at least compared to the actual artwork, they want to see that you're competent in doing. He said, well, if they want to see it, it's here. So we just put a bunch of YouTube stuff behind the scenes, showing some technical skill with After Effects, some 3D cameras that I've used. My art school can see my YouTube channel now. Every art school program is going to be different, and what they're asking for and how much of it, how good it needs to be is all going to vary. But for this school and for this portfolio, I think I delivered enough to get me in. Yay! Alright, well that's pretty much it. I'm off to university. I'm up with the big leagues, guys. I don't have time for this little YouTube thing. I'm up with Pixar now, you guys. Yeah! Not actually. No. In reality, I think I'm gonna be doubling down on YouTube, okay? Pixar? Who is that? I don't have time for